Hello and welcome to the Greek of Acts 14 through 18, I think it is. 5 verses. It's fairly quick today. We're in the middle of Acts chapter 14. Paul and Barnabas are on the first missionary journey in Acts. They have been to Cyprus. They've been to Antioch and Pisidia. They've been to Iconium. Now they're in Lystra. And in yesterday's verses, Paul, by the power of the Spirit, healed a lame man, and they think that he and Barnabas are gods, and they want to sacrifice to them. And so they're getting they've got the bulls ready. They're ready to sacrifice the animals to Paul. They're not going to get fried like they did the last time. Actually, it was a flood. And so they're going to make sure that they offer the sacrifice this time and show proper respect to these gods come down to earth. The problem is, of course, they're not gods. Verse 14. And the apostles Barnabas and Paul. By the way, I mentioned in my podcast version, this is the first time apostles is used in this particular way, because Barnabas and Paul weren't with Jesus from the baptism of John. This is a new use of the word apostle in Acts. So, and the apostles Barnabas and Saul, having heard this, that they're going to sacrifice to them, having rent the garments of them, having ripped their clothes. So this is, again, a sign of blasphemy. No! Don't do it. C is the key to hidden sigma alpha. So this is aorist. My aunt is an active participle, so it's an aorist active participle. S is nominative plural masculine, which goes with this plural masculine of Barnabas and Paul. So having rent, having ripped. The having comes from the aorist. Ripped comes from diaregnomy or whatever it is. There's a lot of words today that are not, let's just say that they're not used very frequently at all in the New Testament. So this is diaregnomy or diareso. Take your pick. They rushed upon the crowd, crying. So present active participle here. My aunt is an active participle. The sigma alpha, what is this? Let me look up the word. This is ekpedao. Okay, so this is a aorist. The sigma alpha tells me it's aorist. Nu is a third person plural, so the they comes from n. That tells me that's something they did in the past. There's the augment. So they ran, they rushed. They rushed upon the crowd crying, verse 15, and saying, present active participle, men, vocative, quote, direct discourse, what are these things, why, oh no, here it is. Why are you doing these things? So the neuter form of the interrogative pronoun can mean why. Why these things are you doing? Present active indicative. And we also are, S men, we ourselves, little emphasis because the hemes doesn't have to be there. Men implies we all by itself. We also ourselves are of like passion. We are like in every way to you. We are similar to you. We are men similar to you. We are just like you. We're just people. But we are preaching the good news, euangelizomenoi, present deponent, because euangelizomai, present deponent participle, preaching you to turn, epistrephane, from these foolish gods, from these foolish idols, unto the God living. Turn to the living God. We're telling you to turn from these gods you think we are. Turn from these gods that you want to sacrifice to turn to the God living. This is a present active participle. Now, this real God who made, aorist active indicative third singular, sen, remember, sen, aorist active indicative third singular from poiao, who made the heaven, the sky, and the land, the earth, and the sea, and all the things in them. Okay, how you doing? Everybody happy with the Greek? Some low frequency words, but we're okay so far. Let's keep going. Who, okay, this is God again, who in the having been past generations. So this is a participle. You can see that men are passive participles, and this is omai, its deponent. So we can say it's a middle deponent participle. Now the word is paroikeo, I believe. Paroikomai. I'm sorry, paroikomai. Omai, it's deponent, but normally you would want a omicron iota here, and participles don't do augments, so this must be a perfect participle. That's the only explanation for why the omicron would be an omega. So this is in fact a perfect middle deponent participle. Again, the ice ending, ice baby, is feminine dative plural. In the generations having been passed, he let all the Gentiles to go in their own ways, in the ways of them. So basically, the impression we get is that God kind of let the Gentiles do their own thing up until now. He was focusing on his people Israel. Sen, we know sen. What is it? Aorist active indicative third singular. From to let or to permit. Now, but here we get an interesting point, and I mentioned this in my podcast, verse 17. Although not without witness him, he left of good deeds. So this is interesting because Paul and Luke are saying that even though God was focusing on Israel, he did not leave himself without witness among the Gentiles. So this isn't without witness. This is aphiemi, which is a many-splendored word. It means a lot of stuff. Here it means to leave. This is aphiemi. This is aorist, I think. Aphika. I think it's aorist. Could be perfect. Aphiemi. Yeah, let's go with perfect. Let's see what the old handy-dandy book. Aorist, actually, is what the book says. So this is aorist, active indicative, third singular. Me verbs are weird. They can take a cop in the aorist. He left him of good deeds. He did not leave himself without a witness of good deeds. You can kind of see good, agathos, and ergos, deed. So, for example, what are some of these good deeds, you ask? Having given, or giving, this is present, I can tell because of the reduplication, present participle of didomi, giving from heaven. The then often means from. So, urano is heaven. Uranothen is from heaven. Giving from heaven to you rains. He gives to you rains. He gave us some rains today. And what else is he given? Giving seasons, fruit-bearing seasons, fruit-bearing times, kairos, fruit-bearing times. Filling, present participle, empimplemi, I believe, filling of food and of gladness the hearts of y'all. So even the joy, ordinary human joy is a gift of God. What John Calvin called all these things common grace. Verse 18, and saying these things, scarcely he prevented the crowds so that they did not sacrifice to them. So this is aorist, sigma alpha, you can see it. Third person plural, see the new, there's the augment. Scarcely he prevented the crowds of the to not sacrifice to them. So the genitive article plus an infinitive is either a purpose or a result construction, suggesting that this is an infinitive of result. May negates it. Use may with non-indicative forms. So with the result that they not sacrifice to them. Okay, well that was a quick one today. Just 5 verses as we make our way through Acts chapter 14.